Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Yeah.
Can I make you groove now? Yes, I can. So you can get this groove in a bag of a can. I can make it round the world when it holds in your hand. Popcorn World. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. The Popcorn
Now it's time for Believe in the ACC with our starting lineup. From Florida State, number 17, Charlie Ward. From Morehead State University, number 50, Lloyd Stan. And from Murray State University, number 2, Kendrick Haskett. Get ready for the best sports show about the ACC in all the land. Believe in the ACC starts now.
Well, listen, every now and then you do your podcast and you prepare and you say, this is going to be a great show. We got a great guest. It's going to be good. But this turned into like a talk show family reunion reveal. Like, this is fantastic. So I was already excited about it, but now I'm like, wait a minute, this is my guy.
All we need is some ribs on the grill.
Well, listen, some ribs and some Frankie Beverly and Mays, and we are set. And maybe a touch of Hennessy. But listen, we're gonna have a good time because Rayvon Churchill is in the building, and we about to reminisce and talk all things Dirt Bowl, and probably Ballard High School might get in there a little bit. I mean, it's gonna be a good time if you. Especially from the Louisville area. I know
I said this is going to be the most Louisville podcast we've had.
Probably so. Because we got a lot to catch up on. We do. We absolutely do. What's up, River? How you doing, brother?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me today. Y'all doing all right?
We doing great, man. We doing great. We would not be our wonderful selves and our attentive selves if we didn't say first and foremost, we send y'all love and condolences, brother. To you and your family for the things that are happening in your life, and we got your back. Just want you to know that to start off everything. Yeah, man. But it's good to see you. You look good, brother.
Thank you, man. It's good to see you too. When I saw your name, I was like, wait, I know this name. It's
right.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I've been seeing your name since we put this together, and I'm like, Raymond, but you know how you had that back of the mind situation, like. Plus, I'm old. I done got old. That's where we are with the whole thing. I was like, I know the name, but I don't know why I know the name. And then you said, I was like, wait a minute. We've had classes together.
Yeah.
That's
88, 89 at Ballard High School.
I know, man. It's Ballard High School. You don't know nothing about that, Kendrick. You don't know nothing about that.
Because y'all older than me. I was still in middle school in 88, 89.
That is also he didn't have to do that, though. That wasn't even necessary.
Yeah, he threw us under the bus. That was a shot. That was a shot.
Yeah, that is. So listen, man. First of all, it's so great. It's great to see you, man. I want to talk to you how you ended up with the dirt bowl in your hands. How did this happen?
Man, it really kind of was like that. It just kind of fell in my lap. Started out doing announcing games, maybe 22 years, no, actually about 26 years ago now. And then this kind of evolved. My role kind of evolved in different leadership roles, and then now here I am. Just kind of like just fell in my lap. So I really enjoy it though, but and it's an honor. But it just really just fell in my lap. I didn't lobby for it or anything. It just kind of happened.
Yeah, for those who don't know, the Dirt Bowl is Louisville's Rucker Park. That's the best, probably the best and easiest way to describe it. It's
the oldest street ball tournament in the state. One
and
of the oldest in the country, right?
In the country, yeah, in the country.
Second oldest in the country.
I was gonna say, and it's as legendary as Rucker Park. It doesn't get the hype that Rucker Park gets because New Yorkers always think they've got the greatest everything, and you know they're gonna be unbearable.
Right.
So I couldn't have them win the finals.
Oh my God, it's gonna be unbelievable. But nevertheless, it is like that. And so, man, talk a little bit about the history. Talk a little bit about what it means to Louisville and basketball as a whole.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, the Dirt Bowl, the second oldest annual summer basketball tournament on planet Earth. Only the Rucker is older than us. Been around since 1969. Thousands of people have played in the Dirt Bowl, including the all-time leading scorers from both the University of Louisville and the University of Kentucky. Dan Issel and Darrell Griffith both played in the Dirt Bowl. And because of the way college sports are now, I don't think we'll ever have anybody break those records. So I think we'll be able to say for the duration, the all-time leading scorers of both of these universities played in the Dirt Bowl back in the 70s. So a lot of other players have played in the Dirt Bowl, men, women. We have kids, so it's a really big institution. In basketball and Kentucky go hand in hand, and then so this tournament and this league has been going on for so long that it's become synonymous with Louisville in the summer.
And you gotta give you your shouts out to them since you've taken over because it's really grown over the last few years since you've been over. You got the court now. The court is spectacular, and just talk about how much you've seen it grown over the years since you've been able to take over.
Yeah, it's really grown. We had a couple of lean years, and like around 2009, 10, 11. I think one year we only had the Dirt Bowl. It was only a weekend. It just kind of just fell off. It was only a weekend. Then a couple of years we didn't even have it. So when Mayor Fisher came on board, he and Neil Robertson. I always got to give Neil Robertson.
Shout out to Neil.
Yeah, shout out to Neil.
Yeah,
Neil brought before he was Mayor Fisher. Mayor Fisher brought him down and was like, "Hey," Mayor Fisher was like, "Hey, if I get elected, I promise I'm going to bring the Dirt Bowl back." And so that's kind of how it started. And then had a couple of lean years. For some years, like we had to call people and be like, "Hey, we have 15 teams. We need a 16th just to make the league even. Like, can you play? You can just come on and play." But now we're turning teams away, and we've grown tremendously over the last 8 to 10 years. And so now we're at 24 men's teams. We had to turn away about 8 or 9 teams.
Wow.
The Women's Dirt Bowl League starts up this weekend. The Junior Dirt Bowl started last weekend. So we've grown tremendously, like from having 15 teams, having a bag of 16th, to now we have 34.
That's incredible, man. When did the women's team start? Is that something? How did that happen?
So this is the third year for the league, for the Women's Dirt Bowl League. The WDBL is what we call it. So a couple of years ago, the WDBL. So a couple of years ago, we realized that women wanted to play as well. So we had them start out playing in a couple of All-Star games on our Super Sunday, like our last weekend. And then they was like, "Hey, we want more." Then a couple of years ago, like with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, that phenomenon with women's basketball, they was like in. And then so their games are always competitive, and we just asked like 4 teams to play, and they came out and they had some really competitive games. It was fun to watch those ladies play. And then so this year they kind of took more of a ownership with their league, and so they created their own teams. We have 40 new players that are playing, so They start this weekend. They play every Saturday and Sunday at 5:00.
Nice.
Really looking forward to seeing a lot of those ladies play. A lot of ladies that played major college basketball, all staters, all region players that played from Louisville. So really excited to get those girls started.
It's talking about how much work goes into it, because we see the finished product, but once 1 year the Dirt Bowl is over, you immediately have to start on the next year, right?
I normally take about maybe 2 weeks off, and then Tommy and I I'm always the one all on the videos, all on the record. That's me. But Tommy is more of a background, and he and I work closely together. Year long. It's a year-long process to make sure that those 8 weeks, come off the way that people are used to. But it's definitely a year-long process, though.
And
Man,
then
you
you
are-
all have expanded. Lloyd, I don't know if you know about this, but they've expanded. Now they've started broadcasting some high school games, streaming some high school games.
Really?
That just started this year, right? And stuff. I get into that, and because I know how the institutions are. For us, it's nothing, but for you all, just getting started and everything. How hard was it for you to be able to get into these high school gyms to be able to start broadcasting? Because it's not easy. People think it is, but it's not.
No,
it's not. I love high school basketball, and I remember back in the day when people used to actually read newspapers like Wednesday and Saturday. Days
you got to get your name in the paper.
Right.
Yeah, you go on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and you see what happened in the games, the high school games on Tuesdays and Fridays. So this has been a big high school fan since 1982. I remember going to my first high school game in Central High School when I lived in Village West. So been a big high school fan for a long time. So I was going to some games, and I just this past year, actually 2 years ago, I went out, had a whole setup, the iPad, the tripod, and all this stuff. But it was it was kind of a job a little bit. So this past year, I went and I just took out my phone and just went live one day. And next thing you know, people start tuning in and like, hey, you're gonna go to this game. Hey, you're gonna go to that game. So that audience grew, and then so I started having a lot of fun doing it. So just started showing up at games. No problems until the regionals, though. So we at the regionals, I'm at Valley, and I'm sitting there, I'm going live, and I get a tap on the shoulder like, hey, you have to stop your stream. I'm like, what do you mean? You got to stop your stream because of, KSHA rules and this and that. So I was like, but that made more people interested in what I was doing. I was like, why would they come cut him off? But it was clearly a lot of other people going live too. So people wanted me to go to Rupp Arena. We was getting people from different parts of the state. And then so when I started having white people from Eastern Kentucky tuning in and we were having friendly conversations about basketball, that's when I knew we were kind of popular. And so in a 1 month span, we had over 400,000 views on our high school games in a 28-day span towards the end of the year. So the Dirt Bowl Basketball Network is what it's called.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a rights thing after so far. Like once KHSAA gets involved in anything, everything gets harder than it needs to be.
Right.
Yeah.
on everybody's end.
Yeah. I was at Rupp Arena streaming the games, and I got a tap on the shoulder again. A guy in the blue, at the Yum Center, the ushers walk around in the red jackets. Well, at the Rupp Arena, they walk around in blue. So I'm live, and people are watching my live, and they're like, "Man, why are so many people watching?" So they looked at my live, saw where I was sitting, and came and told me I had to shut down.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a rights thing because they do broadcast there, so that's a rights thing. But for the regular season game, your local games, you should be all good.
Yeah, I'm all good. So I talked to some people from JCPS. Shout out to Miss April Smith. She's the JCPS athletic director. She was like, no problems. But then I don't know what we're gonna do about the regionals and the districts. We'll see.
Yeah, we gotta get some conversations going because listen, man, nothing has changed in high school basketball over the year. High school basketball is Louisville or Kentucky high school basketball is Texas football. It's the same thing. It's just those high school gyms are as packed as those high school football stadiums in Texas. Like it's the same intensity.
Right.
And it's so funny because I would go to basketball games in Texas And you think, okay, man, Texas sports, it should be the high school basketball should be the same. It's not. It's not the same at all.
It's football and baseball down there.
It's football and baseball there, and football is the religion. Like that's where now I'll stall them out on football. We ain't got that yet. $60
What
million
do they say
state.
down God, football, and family? Or
Listen, and I'm not sure it's in that order. I'll be honest. It's crazy. It is. It definitely is insane. But it's the same way in Kentucky. Like basketball has not ceased to be the thing in Kentucky, and so you're doing the state a service, sir. So please do not stop that effort.
And Rayvon, you've been around. We've had some lean years with talent in basketball. We were low key a football state. We was churning out more football talent than basketball talent.
Yeah.
Right.
But we've had a resurgence, and you look at Josh Lindsay over at St. X, at Grivner over at Ballard. Ray John's kid over at is it South Oldham or North Oldham? One that I always get the
North
stuff. Yeah, over at North Oldham. I mean, we've got some ballers right in the area now, and they're young. Like the kid at Ballard is just going to be a sophomore. Ray John's going to be a freshman, and so Pierre, he's going to be a freshman. Just how much you've seen the talent grow just in the last 4, 5, 6 years around here.
Yeah, it's definitely a resurgence of talents. Like you said, we had some lean years. Weren't really producing a lot of D1 talent, but when you look at the upcoming freshman class, you talked about Pierre Rondo, and then you have Jeremiah Queen. No, he'll be a sophomore this year, but then you have the sophomore class, which is absolutely loaded. Sophomore class is loaded. But then this upcoming junior class is stacked too. And then a lot of people think that Jordan Mitchell from Mel has overtaken Josh as the best player in the city, and that's saying something because Josh. Yeah, that's saying something because Josh is just a phenomenal player. Like I equate Josh and St. X last year to Fairdale in 90 and 91. It was like must-see TV when you had Killer and Jermaine and Carlos from back in the days with those great Fairdale teams, and this is what it feels like when you go see this St. X team these past 2 years.
Those guys.
And just watching Jordan grow. I've known Jordan's dad, Carlos, for a long time. So I've watched Jordan literally grow, and he is phenomenal. He's got size too. Josh is still a little small. Yeah, Jordan's got size.
Yeah, I know Carlos as well, and this whole Fern Creek lineage, and Jordan's mom. Like, so he's comes from a really good lineage. So I'm excited to see. Actually, what Mel does too, they got Trey Hillerich coming back. They had a freshman last year. I think his name was Cam. Trey was his name. So then they have what's his name, Mason Calhoun. He's going to be a sophomore next year. No, actually, Mason's going to be a freshman. He was an 8th grader playing big minutes this past year. Actually, he was the youngest player ever to score in the King of the Bluegrass. He scored when he was in the 7th grade, and he's really a really good basketball player. So looking forward to the 7th region is going to be phenomenal. It's really, I have no idea who's going to come out of that 7th region. So really looking forward already. It's still like June. I'm looking forward to basketball next year for sure.
Yeah, because Mel, Ballard, Trinity, St. X, they're all going to be.
Will any of those players be making a Dirt Bowl appearance?
Actually, Josh Lindsay played in the Dirt Bowl this year.
I figured Josh would.
Yeah, wow, Josh awesome. And Jeremiah Butterqueen from Seneca is playing. Jeriah Brown, who was on his way to becoming the all-time leading scorer in Jefferson County history, he's playing. So, we were well represented with the high school kids.
That's always been one of the cheat codes of the Dirt Bowl, is being able to kind of pull in the neighborhood legends into the game, and that made it special because everybody would have their bragging rights, like, hey, we got y'all this year, that kind of thing. So is that feeling still there? Is it still neighborhood on neighborhood type thing?
Absolutely. It used to be very neighborhood centric. Now, with some neighborhoods like no longer there, like all the projects, all the the housing projects like Cotter Homes, Southwick, Clarksdale, Shepherd Square. Those places aren't Beach of Terrace. Those places aren't there anymore. So you have those people that spread out, but then you still have people who are very neighborhood centric, and some of those neighborhood centric teams are still our best teams. And so actually this week is I always have a trouble saying this rivalry week this week, and then so we have Newburgh versus Park Hill, no East End versus Park Hill, and Newburgh versus Jewel Park, Cecil and Greenwood versus Algonquin Park. So a lot of
Cecil and
neighborhood rivalry
Greenwood.
weekend.
Wow. That sounds like it's going to be a good time. That's going to be a good time. Now, you mentioned the being the voice, one of the voices. Are you the voice now, or are we still
Corn's still the voice?
I was gonna say,
Cornell.
because there was a voice that was still there.
Yes.
And by the way, shout out to you also. Was that the Hall of Fame thing? Was that your idea?
Yeah, I'd say credit. Yeah, it was.
You should take credit. Listen,
take your credit.
Brilliant. I think that is a brilliant idea. And it gives love to people. Because, one thing I used to hate going in Texas, they be trying to talk about all their Texas basketball stars. And I get it. They got some ballers that came out of Texas. But also, I put our ballers up against anybody. And so to be able to recognize the Louisville legends, I think that is phenomenal. And listen, if we want to go state for state, let's have that conversation.
Yeah.
We got some ballers.
Yeah, so we wanted to preserve the history of the Dirt Bowl. And then so back in 2015, we published a book called I Said Bang. So, in Cornell, somebody hits a three, I said bang. And then so the Louisville Story Program, they came in and showed us a lot of love and produced a book. And then so we wanted to, me personally, I wanted to start to cultivate that history so that generations, behind us was kind of have a storyline of what went on. Hasn't been a lot of, really great record keeping, which also kind of makes the Dirt Bowl good because it's mythical and it's the stories and, like 6 people might say they won the championship in 1974. There's no way to dispute it, so those stories kind of live on. But then we wanted to recognize some people from the past. And so, you have the kids go out and play these tournaments and they come home with these rings. And I'm like, man, where are you getting these rings? So the guy did some research, like, they're not too bad. So we just designed some rings and then asked the community, asked some people, like, who do you think should be in the first inductees into the Hall of Fame? And of course it was Griff, and of course it was Cornell, of course the founders of the Dirt Bowl, the late great Mr. Ben Watkins, and my good friend Miss Janice Carter Miller, who's still she's still living, still breathing. Then we have some other players and coaches that were a part of the Dirt Bowl in its infancy, and then so we can never forget those guys that made it possible for where we are now. So we wanted to keep doing that, and so within it's kind of like when you start something that is popular or successful, like
I was going to ask you who is there? Do we get an exclusive? Like who's in the Hall of Fame? Who's on the list of potential Hall of Famers this year?
So a lot of people were mentioned that didn't get in last year. So we're gonna go back and I have to go back and ask some of those guys that were still around that remember those days. So I wasn't around to remember those and document that. So it's not up to me to decide who goes into that Hall of Fame. But I do think that from a contributor standpoint, I do think I want to see what people feel about a guy named Fruit Loop. His name is Robert Mitchell. And Fruit Loop has been selling T-shirts down at the Dirt Bowl for years. And everybody who ever had a vintage Dirt Bowl T-shirt, you got it from Fruit Loop. And Fruit Loop is still selling barbecue down on 26th and Broadway. He's just like a hustler man. You know what I'm saying? But he's really, really good man, though. He's an excellent man. And he gets love from a lot of people. And he's well respected. And then so somebody like that, people like that who, we want to also recognize and be like, hey, he was a part of the experience, the Dirt Bowl experience. It's not just about basketball and the games. It's the whole culture, it's everything that goes into it that makes the Dirt Bowl what it is.
And you're talking about some of the names that played in it back in the day. When Issel played in it and Artis Gilmore played it, they were playing for the Colonels. They were professional players at that point.
Absolutely.
And so probably not gonna get too much of that anymore because contracts and all that stuff. But I mean, that's how special the Dirt Bowl was back in the day.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yes.
I have
Yeah.
to. I have to ask.
What's up?
Do you believe the dunk or no?
Whew.
that deep sigh, boy. They say it happened. They say it happened. I wasn't there. I don't know, but they say it happened. Griff.
So 25,000 people say they were there at the park. Right?
I'm just
25,000 people claim they saw it with their own 2 eyes.
They saw it,
including my father. So we did another like radio documentary, and then so I was able to call Mr. Gilmore and ask his thoughts on the dunk immediately after I called Griff to have him, talk about the dunk.
Mm-hmm.
So they both have 2 totally different recollections of what happened.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So Griff says, yeah, it was a Blues ball, back half court. I stole the ball, and he called him Gilmore. I look up, I see Gilmore down, and I'm thinking I'm great dunk on him. He says he goes down, he dunks on him, the crowd goes wow. That's what Griff says, and about 22,000 people. But there's about 3,000 people who said they were there. Like, nah, it didn't quite happen like that, including like Butch Beard. He said, nah, it didn't really happen like that. And Gilmore said, nah. So Gilmore said, now, I respected, what Daryl Griffin became, but come on, man. I was playing for the Colonels. I'm 7'2". You think some little 9th grade kid is going to come dunk on me? That's exactly what he said. And then so he said it didn't happen. Griff said it did happen. So that's one of those things a few minutes ago we talked about the myth. There was no footage of it. There was no video. People didn't have phones back in the day.
Yeah.
So that will continue to grow, and it's going to be legendary. That's the most legendary story in Dirt Bowl history, that play, and whether it happened or not.
It's so legendary that when Lloyd said that, all 3 of us knew what he was talking about.
We knew it. Yeah.
Right.
What's understood don't need to be explained. So there you go. So what legendary thing you think is happening this year? Like, what are you most looking forward to with this particular run of the Dirt Bowl?
This year we've gotten a lot younger. Like in the past, like people who were familiar with the Dirt Bowl from years ago, they got a little older, they were playing, and then some of the younger kids, they didn't think that the Dirt Bowl was cool because we had fallen off a little bit. So we had to make ourselves cool and relevant again, so where the young people wanted to play, which is why like Josh Lindsey actually played a couple of years now. But we wanted to make it cool to where younger people wanted to play. And then so we've gotten a lot younger this year. We've also wanted to get more diverse. And then so in the last 2-3 years ago, we had a predominantly white team called Church League that came down to play. They weren't very good that first year, but they were very competitive, and they were just some really, really good, high-quality men. And we loved them being a part of the Dirt Bowl. And then the second year, they got a little bit better. And then this is their third year, and they really have a chance to maybe shock some people and go far in the tournament. And then so we wanted to get diverse. And then so this year we had 2 more predominantly white teams come. So now we have 3 predominantly white teams. And those calls were indicative of the temperature in the city. They thought that because they were white and because the Dirt Bowl was played in Shawnee Park in West End, that they wouldn't be included or they wouldn't be accepted. And I was like, man, if you can hoop, then you should come play at the Dirt Bowl. So and they come down and they love the experience, and they always walk away and it's like, it's just totally different from what I thought or what I was told or what I expected. And so that was a good story. So we really enjoyed that. We want to be more inclusive. And then another thing, we wanted to grow the Junior Dirt Bowl. So this year we do have 60 kids on 6. We have 10 kids on 6 teams. So 60 kids, 12 girls. Dope. So it's co-ed. So have 2 girls on each team, 8, 9, and 10-year-olds. So then we have some kids and players from Simmons College. They come down and kind of help them out and they practice before the game on the other court. So it's really community-based, community-driven, the Junior Dirt Bowl. And that's what we're looking forward to growing.
It's to the point now. You got U of L bringing recruits down to watch the Dirt Bowl, and U of L's gotten involved in it a little bit, haven't they?
Yeah. Actually, the last 2 staffs have come down, and our relationship with Daryl Griffith, and he's turned us on to some administrative staff and some sports staff, and they get to come down. They come down one day a year. and it's kind of what I talked to the compliance people at U of L to make sure that there are no recruitable players playing in the dirt bowl the day that they come down. And so we want to make sure we don't want any infractions or nothing bad.
Right.
Hey, man, at the dirt bowl, we don't want nothing negative about us. So we did have to tweak some stuff and rearrange some games so that the recruitable players weren't there when the U of L staff was. But it was cool, though. They presented us with some dirt bowl jerseys last year. I don't know if you guys remember last year they had some dirt bowl themed jerseys. Adidas produced some dirt ball themed jerseys, and they came down and presented us, myself and Cornell and a couple other guys on the staff. We got like unreleased like Adidas dirt ball jerseys, so that was real
Nice.
cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Before we let you get out of here, what is the vision? Where do you see this in 5 years?
We do have a 5-year plan, and we want to be self-sustained in 5 years. Like, we get a lot of support from Metro government. We are a nonprofit, but my expertise wasn't fundraising, and so I had to ask people to help me and ask people to help us to get to that next level. And financial self-sustainability is what we want to look for, and we want to grow in that way. We want to try to figure out a way to protect the court at Shawnee without messing up the integrity of the dirt bowl. But we do know that there's potential for vandalism because it's happened before. So we want to make sure that in 5 years that's not possible.
The best part of the dirt bowl for me was that you think about, and this is a weird way to kind of round this conversation out, but you think about how many people were protected in the summertime of Louisville while the dirt bowl was going on, because we were all together and we were all having a good time. We understood what this was, and we did in many ways we went above and beyond to protect the integrity of the event. And so every now and then you have your little incidents or whatever, but for the most part, a lot of us are here because we were there together in the summer doing something productive with our time. Even whether you were playing or whether you were just sit there watching or whether you were just there, people watching and walking around Shawnee Park. You were in the environment, and it helped. And so I pray that continues to go forward. And, man, what you're doing, Rayvon, is more than honorable, brother. It is a mission. It is a ministry in its own right. So I appreciate you, brother, so much. And anything we can do to connect you to anybody or just whatever, you listen, you got us for forever. So we got you, man. I'm so proud of you, man. This is incredible.
Appreciation. Kendrick, man, thanks for all the access and just acknowledging me and saying, hey, what's up, Rayvon, when we're in the same spaces, man. So hope to see you down at the dirt bowl, getting some good dirt bowl coverage sometime this summer. So we'll have you a good spot, and I'll buy you a sandwich when you come in.
Hey, I like food.
We are definitely food. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you coming through, man. We gonna connect, man. We gonna connect. I'm gonna see what I can do. Whatever I can do to help. I'm in there, man. Just let me know.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right, brother. Appreciate you, man.
All right, man.
All right, man.
That was dope.
Rayvon Churchill. I mean, he's been I've known Rayvon just in passing for years. And like before I even knew he had anything to do with the dirt ball, I knew Rayvon just in passing. And then he's one of the great guys. To be honest with you, I didn't realize that Rayvon was older than me till like a couple months ago. I thought he was a young guy.
No, Rayvon, Rayvon and I think, if I'm not mistaken, either we're the same age or I may be a year older. I can't remember that part of it, but I know we had some class together, so I'm pretty sure we're the same age. Which is crazy to think about, that we were little freshmen in 1988, 89, that kind of thing. But yeah, man, Rayvon was always a dope dude, and it's just cool to see him pick this mantle up and run with it like this. This is pretty incredible.
For people outside the state, they don't realize that, like, the dirt bowl
in Samoa,
right? Shout out to Samoa. But the dirt bowl is an institution around here, and so it's great to see it back. And like, I don't know if you've seen the court since they updated the court.
I have not. Yeah, I have not.
The court is spectacular. He was talking about the vandalize because somebody decided it would be a good idea to make skid marks on the court. I think it was last year before last.
Yeah.
But it's cleaned up now. It looks great. and and it is safe to go out there because that area of town has its issues, but when the Dirt Bowl is going on, it's safe. You're in one of the safest places in town. When the Dirt Bowl is going,
100%.
two times you always know you're safe down there. It's Dirt Bowl and West End Appreciation Day.
Right. It's a wild. When my first job out of college, I worked at the Presbyterian Community Center. Shout out to OPCC over in Shepherd Square. And my first year of that, I and my Metro Parks coordinator, his name was Keith Abel. Shout out to Keith Abel. He and I got together and said, "Man, let's take a couple of teams down to the Dirt Bowl." And so we did. And in our very first year, we won. It was a high school division at that point, but we won that version of, well, it's all high school division, but we won that year, and we were like, we were so excited because we couldn't believe it. Like, to win your first year is crazy because that doesn't normally happen. Right. There is a learning curve normally, but we got real fortunate that we had a bunch of kids that were from Atherton and from Male High School. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Larry O'Bannon was on that team. I think he was right before he went to, obviously, he went to Louisville. But yeah, he was. I believe he was on that team that first year because he and his sister worked at the Presbyterian Community Center, so that's how I got to know him. But yeah, it was an amazing event, and we had a good time. That was the first time I'd been on that side of the ledger as far as I wouldn't say I was like the coach. I was like more of a GM, like financing the situation. But but I enjoyed it. It was a phenomenal experience, man. And so the Dirt Bowl has always been near and dear to my heart. Plus, listen, in the summertime of my high school youth, it was a good time. It was a good time to go down there and just hang out and kick it.
Yeah, and I say he's bringing it back, making it younger and making it cool. A kid like Josh Lindsay, he carries the weight to be able to get the younger kids to come because he has become such a name around here. And Josh is only going into his junior year in high school. And so, I mean, I don't know if you've seen this kid.
I've not had a chance, no.
He's not very big. He's He might be my height, maybe a little. I think he's right at my height.
Yeah.
But he has like a 44-inch vertical.
Wow.
Yeah, and he gets at least one every game. And so
you're gonna catch a body.
Yeah. And he's improved his jump shot tremendously. Because when he first came on the scene, I was first hearing him and I was seeing him, I was like, oh, he's just a dunker. But now he's developed and he's got some muscle, he's got some definition. So he's coming. I think depending on what you're looking at, he's a 4 or 5 star now.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the other kid we were talking about, Jordan Mitchell. Mm-hmm. I've watched this kid grow since he was in middle school. Like I said, I've known his dad forever, and I've watched him grow literally and physically because he's grown up to Jordan's probably about 6'3", getting close to 6'4" at this point. He's put on weight. He's the coolest cat you ever. This cat, I mean, he's got the fro going. He's got the style. His dad is stylish, and so he's going to be a phenomenon too. And then Mason Grivna, he's a freshman at Ballard High School. He's I think he's already he's either 4 or 5 star already. And this kid is phenomenal. And so and of course there's Pierre Rondo. And so we've got some talent coming out now. It's been a while, but this talented has been around here in a long time.
That's always been my favorite part of Kentucky high school basketball is the next guy. And we've always, when we were growing up, we always had a next guy. And for a long time, when we were younger, if you won the 6 or the 7 region, you pretty much won state. That's how it was going to work. Like, if you could survive that.
Because, in our day, the 6th region was the
right.
We won the 6th region, he was going to win state.
Well, yeah,
because that was PRP and Fairdale.
Yeah, don't remind me. Don't remind me. I was in the 6th region at that time. I still remember being dunked on by Carlos Turner. So let's move on from this. Let's move on from this conversation. No, you're 100%
Yeah,
correct.
because Doss was back then. Because
man,
that was Derek Anderson.
My junior and senior year, it was Derek Anderson at Doss. It was Von Nim at Valley. It was PRP and everything that they had at that time. And then, of course, it was Fairdale. And Fairdale. Hey, what's crazy?
J-Town was low key good back then.
J-Town was good. What was crazy is we had a 7-footer and a 6'10" guy, and anytime we played outside of the region, we had success, except for like Male, obviously, because that was Jason and those guys, and then of course
but Jason came along with me though.
He did, but
the same age.
He did, but his junior year was my senior year, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and he was really good then.
Where did you graduate?
I graduated in '92.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he
was
93.
He was, and they were good then. I mean, Mel was,
and the 7th region was coming on then because
7th region was starting to come because DeWine was there, and they were So it was
good then.
Eastern was good. So if you can survive Louisville, you were at least good enough to get to the finals for the Kentucky high school basketball.
But and they deny it to the hilt, but it's still crazy that as good as basketball was, 2 teams from Louisville have never met in the state championship.
That is crazy. That is true, isn't it?
And it's not by coincidence.
No, it's not.
Anybody that lives around here knows.
No, we all understand how the politics work in
because I've witnessed it.
Maybe if it ever gets moved back to the Yum Center, that can happen. But until that happens, it's probably never going to happen.
Yes, and it used to be at Freedom Hall and didn't happen.
Right, it used to be at Freedom Hall, and but which is crazy that it didn't happen during those days. But I would have loved to have seen a finals that included.
Those Ballard and PRP.
team. Yeah. The only team I think that could have in the 7th during at least my 4 years that could have competed was probably Male. Male was Eastern was good too.
Eastern was good because they had Eric Kinslow, Matt Anchorage.
Yeah. Was that Felton?
Felton was before.
Felton was a little bit before. Yeah, it was a little bit before. Because I thought Felton and them were going to go in that Ballard run. And Ballard beat them. I don't know how. Ballard was good. Like Al and all those guys were really, really good. Like
and DeWine was young on those Ballard teams.
Yeah, he was a freshman. DeWine actually was in the 8th grade.
DeWine's in your class, right?
Yeah. DeWine was in the 8th grade when they won that. They were trying to get him. There was a lot more challenges to get DeWine to or to get 8th graders to play all the way up. And so he couldn't.
That's not as prominent. It wasn't as prominent then as it is now.
Right. Matter of fact, fun fact, DeWine actually left. We can say this. We can talk about this now. DeWine actually left and went to Texas, and then they brought him back.
You know what? I vaguely remember that.
So
we gotta get DeWine on the show. I've been telling them we're gonna get.
We do. We gotta get the Oos on the show and have him. We go through some reminiscing there as well.
People you'll ever meet.
and has always been. Always been, and since I've known him, and I've known him since his 7th grade year. So he's always been just a great dude. So, but that was a lot of fun. Seeing Rayvon brought back a lot of memory. It's funny how stuff gets buried in your mind until you see somebody, and then all the dots get connected. Like, oh, that's right. We sat at the lunch table, and we did this, and we did that. And so, it was kind of cool to see that. So, great great fun this morning to start the morning.
This has been a Louisville ass show.
listen, which is it's funny. I was not gonna wear Louisville stuff at all today. I had a whole different thing that I was going with, and it was like the Lord was like, put on your Louisville stuff. And now I understand because this was a Louisville-based show. So there you go. But now we have to go to New York, the concrete jungle where dreams are made of.
Because if you watch First Take, you would think there was a station in New York.
I'll say this: it's gonna be a long summer because they did what no one thought they could do. And listen, I did not have the Knicks. I didn't have the Knicks winning nothing this year. I especially now I wasn't.
I thought they could get to the finals just because of all the injuries in the Eastern Conference.
I thought that they could get to the Eastern Conference Finals, but I felt like I was probably more Cleveland than I was Knicks. I was probably more.
I just don't believe in Cleveland yet. That's
I thought they were playing well, and then listen, shout out to the Knicks, man. They were not the most talented team, but they were the most complete team.
And they were a team.
They were a team, and they did all the team stuff. Now, the way that they won is crazy. Can we talk about the elephant in the proverbial room that I've never seen in the history? And I've been watching basketball all my life. I've never seen a team lose the exact same way in the finals 4 times. That's crazy. The Spurs literally won 15 quarters of basketball and lost 4. And the 4 they lost cost them a championship. That's a crazy reality, Kendrick.
To lose the same way in every game and almost lost the same way in the game you won.
Yes, and really should have. Really, and all it was just about the mistakes that the Knicks made, like 2 or 3 more mistakes than you did. You didn't do anything to win it. It's just they just made a little bit more mistakes than you did.
Yeah. And so he's a young coach, and I get it, but you've got to make some kind of an adjustment in the fourth quarter when you notice the same thing is happening every game. Because they won game 3. And the first game in New York.
Yes.
And I remember watching that game because it was on when I was getting ready to go out to the set for the 11 o'clock news.
Mm-hmm.
And they're laughing at me because I'm screaming at the TV, stop shooting all these threes. And they ended up winning that game.
Right.
And I'll be damned, the very next game was the exact same thing, and they lost. And then the next game was the exact same thing.
The exact same thing.
They lost. And then the next game. Because the 29-point comeback, you can't look at that game and be like, the Knicks did anything special.
No, they didn't do anything special.
They made shots, but, shout out to them for making the shots. But when the other team is up 29 points, for one, why is Wemby in the game so much at that point? 2, why are we shooting 3-pointers with 18 seconds left on the shot clock?
It was baffling. It was to watch it in real time. And I'm gonna tell you something. Like you said, because of the way game 3 unfolded, as you're watching game 4, for me, it was the third quarter, right around the 8-minute mark, and they shot the first one. And I said, well, that was a bad shot. I want to say it was Castle that shot that first one from the right side. And I'm like, that's a bad shot. And then Vassell came down, and that's another bad shot. Stop shooting these threes. So I understand what people are saying, that Mitch is young, he's inexperienced, but also he has sight.
And you've been around basketball.
Right. And he's been around one of the greatest coaches. His mentor is one of the greatest coaches of all time, who I am confident has had that conversation with him about late game adjustments. Mm-hmm. So to watch the game unfold the way that it did, 29 points is crazy. It's crazy to think that you lost a 29-point lead is crazy.
I wish my boy Ian that I work with was here, because he'll tell you when they made all the threes in the first half, I was like, I hope they have a plan B, because all those shots are not going to fall in the second half. And
listen,
they didn't, and they still kept shooting.
The old man in me understood very quickly, this is fool's gold. And if you keep shooting these threes, and I'm sitting here watching it with matter of fact, shout out to Reggie Love. He called me during the game, and we're talking on the phone during the game, and we're both going crazy because we're like, why do they keep shooting all these threes? I said, I don't know, but this is going to get real tight if they don't stop. Because they don't have to. When you have a 29-point lead, you don't have to shoot threes. You've done the work.
Done that part.
You've done the work. So it was almost like the arrogance of youth kicked in, and they were like, "We don't want to just beat you. We want to send a message.
Yeah,
we want to send
we're
a
trying to
statement."
win by 50.
Right. Well, message received because you lost the game, and not only lost, but you lost in spectacular fashion, like in legendary, will live in infamy type fashion, in the greatest tip-in since the NC State Houston game. Right. So
they're gonna have a statue outside of MSG of OG Anunoby.
Oh my god!
And that tip-in.
I hope that statue is next to his Good Morning America statue of him literally falling asleep with his eyes open. That's the greatest thing I've ever seen. That man had been drugged some places that he did not want to go, and he was tarred. He was tarred.
Drug might be a key word in that sentence.
Well, listen, it was so funny to watch because if you saw the interview, they asked him the question, and he just looked like he was having his Mitch McConnell moment. Like, I don't know what to do right now. I was like, "Will y'all please let that man go lay down because he is not ready for this interview at all."
No,
but to your point, man, OG, I would have picked OG or Cat as the MVP of the series had your boy not gone off in that last game.
Just gonna say the last game is what did it.
Well, listen, when you
last two, I mean, he made big shots in
he made big shots in the last in the fourth game, but when you
made
score 45, when you score 45 and your team scored 49
in the closeout game,
you probably got a lot.
But which brings us to De'Aaron Fox.
Yes,
I covered De'Aaron Fox.
You did
when he was at Kentucky.
You did. I think I left by then.
I think so.
Yeah.
Great kid, great guy. Wife is is from San Antonio.
Shout out to wifey.
They have to get rid of De'Aaron Fox.
Wow. So you're going there. We just going there.
I was there before he messed up game 4 and 5. Because I'm like, Dylan Harper is outplaying him.
Oh, by a lot. Not even by a little, by a lot.
Yes. I'll give him that he had the injured ankle. He wasn't 100%. That's fine. Okay. That's physical. The mental errors that he was making.
Well, if you're not 100%, then grabbing the ball and thinking that you can outrun them is not a good idea.
But, I think part of that is him going back to that's how he plays. When De'Aaron Fox is healthy, he's one of the faster people with the ball in the league. And so that's just his mentality. He's always played like that. And so he's thinking it's instinctive. Yeah. But the layup attempt at the end, which looking back at it, actually when I saw it in real time, I thought OG fouled him, but they're not going to call that at that point in the game. You have to dribble. You have to dribble that ball.
Dribble that out.
You're the veteran on the team. The team is falling apart. And then his excuse is, I wanted to get up by 3 and make them have to make a 3. And I'm like,
no.
The clock is your friend at that point when you're up.
You're winning. Yeah.
And then, he had some costly turnovers before that. The one where he was trying to throw it to Wemby, the one where Hart missed the layup.
Yeah.
That was a bad turnover. And then game 5, he was atrocious in that fourth quarter. And so, if you're a coach, he's struggling in these fourth quarters. Dylan Harper's been outplaying him the whole playoffs.
Yeah.
And I understand going with the vet, but that's if the vet's playing okay.
Yeah.
If the vet's struggling and you got a younger guy who obviously is not afraid of the moment, you've got to make that change. You can't keep going with this. That's the definition of insanity. You keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result. And
yeah.
So there's a lot of growing up that has to go on within that organization, which is one of the best organizations in the history of the league.
100%.
And they will.
Yeah.
And they've got to get another big.
Oh, yeah. That's got to be priority one.
It's Wemby and 4 guards out there.
Yeah, that's got to be priority one is shoring up their front court, getting some depth at the front court. But I want to go back real
who
quick.
They should get low key.
I have a name.
I got a name.
Let me see if you got the same name I got. Who would you say?
Hartenstein.
That's not the name I have.
Who you have?
I like.
I'm thinking Hartenstein because I know Hartenstein's a free agent.
Right. I like Hartenstein, But even more than that, I was thinking Robert Williams would be perfect for that organization.
My only question with Robert Williams, he can't be injury prone.
He can, but the last 2 years he's been there, and maybe he's gotten. My assumption is that he's gotten to the other side of
What's
that
his
part of
contract
his life.
situation? Do you
Oh,
know?
he's unrestricted free agent, and it's not a lot of money. I don't think it's going to be a lot of money. So that's
the Hartenstein. Yeah, Hartenstein's going to be.
Hartenstein's going to be a check. You're going to have to pay a little bit for Hartenstein. But both of those options are better than the options that they have.
Yeah, but they can't. They can afford, if they want them, they can get them because everybody is damn near on a rookie contract with the Spurs.
Right. This is the time. If you're going to make a move like that, this is the time to do it.
This is the time to do it.
But I want to go back to Fox real quick.
Okay,
just real quick.
We'll go on to this other.
I 1000% agree with everything you said, especially in that fifth game, because it wasn't it. He is the point guard. So the thing that really frustrated me most about him, especially in the fifth game, is the not learning from the fourth game. Why are you coming down off curls and rushing shots from the elbow? Like you said, at the 18-second mark of the shot clock or the 12-second mark of the shot. Like, you got time and you have the ball. They will follow you. The thing that was frustrating me most about them is that there was this panic from Mitch and De'Aaron that created panic from everybody else. And I think that's what Shaq says it all the time. If the general doesn't panic, the troops aren't going to panic. And it felt like the generals were panicking. And I knew the Spurs were in trouble. And this is really what I wanted to get to. When Mitch said before the game, well, De'Aaron's going to have the ball in his hands. Okay, if you are doubling down, that means you're not learning the lesson. Because he's already said what he's going to be.
And you dug in on what your opinion is.
100%.
And not listening to the facts.
100%. Because the facts say completely different. You got to make – now, to his credit, the last 5, 6, 7 minutes, they were out there together. So I appreciate that. But Dylan's young, and he's not earned the right probably in his mind to be a complete toe stepper. So, or habitual line stepper, as our pastor would say. So he chose to defer to De'Aaron, thinking that his 8 years of wisdom would guide them to better decisions, which it did not. So that was crazy to me. All right.
The line stepper is our associate pastor. That's Charlie.
Oh, yeah. Well, listen. 100%. 100%.
But moving on to the news of the day that broke last night.
Yeah.
Trae Young.
I saw that.
What are the Wizards?
I don't know what the Wizards are doing. I don't know what they're doing. Because you know what's funny about that decision? So it sounds like he declined it. For those who don't know, Trae Young declined $49 million. Okay. Now, normally when a person declines $49 million is because they think they're getting $59 million or more. If that is true, my first question is, why, Washington, would you do that? And then my second question is, so are you signing everybody to that? Because if you sign Trae and AD, well, that's the ball game. Like you're hitching your wagon to two guys who have proven they can't stay healthy all the way. So what are we doing?
I'm thinking is because the way the NBA is set up, you have to have a max guy. So that's why, and I guess Trae.
By the way, I did some research on that. That's not really true. That's okay. It's what it's kind of an implied thing, but it's not a have to.
Okay.
So the teams that do it, they do it, I think, because it's kind of one of those unspoken.
Well, there's also, we always talk about the salary cap, but there's also a floor.
There's a floor, right.
And also, that's why when for people who don't understand, when they talk about big contracts are good contracts, it's because it's for teams like Washington to keep them from hitting the salary floor.
Exactly. And then also it's kind of a handshake thing with the union. I think they just like, we're gonna keep at least one solid max player. But is Trae Young the max guy? Like, is he?
I mean, given the roster situation, yes. So my thing is,
I think I would hold out for one of them young dudes.
Well, I'm wondering if this was a play just to renegotiate with Washington, but he's unrestricted though, right? He became an unrestricted.
He's unrestricted. Player option, but yes, he's player option to unrestricted. Yes, that's this situation. So
I wonder if he's got a destination in sight.
Well, according to reports, he is going to take a couple of meetings. I don't anticipate those meetings are going to go that well. Like, I don't know who would bring him in. Under what circumstance would you bring him in? Let's start there.
Let's look at the land. Okay, let's try to flesh it out. Try to look at the landscape.
Okay,
who needs a point guard who can score?
Well, a true point guard.
No, well, I mean, there's only like a handful of true point guards in the league anyway.
Oh, okay.
But
you're just talking about extra.
Who needs a Trae Young type bucket?
Okay,
I think
Sacramento is one.
I'm talking about good teams.
Oh, well, then that's a different conversation.
Minnesota, maybe.
Minnesota could be interesting.
But
he's such a defensive liability, and they play such great defense.
But you can hide him though.
You'd have to. You would have to hide him.
As long as you got F.E. Edwards and Rudy Gobert out there, you can hide them. What do you think about the Pacers putting him and Halliburton together in the backcourt?
I don't love it. I just
stretches the floor defensively.
Offensively, it's not. Offensively,
and they got
bad at all.
And they got Wishmacollett from the Clippers, right? Zubac.
Yeah, but the problem is, I don't want to have to hide him.
You're gonna have to hide him regardless where you go.
Yeah, but now I really gotta hide him because Hallie's a playmaker, and I don't want to take the ball out of his hands so that Trae can dribble the air out of the ball. I'd rather Trae be a catch and shoot dude, which he's small for a catch and shoot dude. So, but that's what he is. That's essentially what he is. So I don't love that as much as I would love some other things. Like when you were talking about places he could go, as crazy as this is going to sound, I'll even throw Dallas in there. That's not awful. But the problem is that you already got a point guard.
Got an old point guard.
Well, and not only that, it's the money is insane because he's going to ask for more, and you're already paying that with Kyrie. But it sounds like they don't want Kyrie, which I can understand that. Not that they don't love Kyrie's potential, but it's like the money. It's the money. Like, I'm paying this dude who's 35 a lot and coming off another injury.
I think he's coming up on. I think is this last year in this contract? It's got to be.
I think so. And listen, I'm not one of them that loses their mind when I see an internet video of somebody playing great from the NBA. Like, yeah, he's supposed to cook this college kid.
Yeah, whatever, or non-NBA player in general.
Right. Of course, he should be cooking this kid. I'd be concerned if he wasn't cooking this kid.
Right.
So, no, I don't get caught up into that part of it.
What do you think about Orlando?
They need help.
They do need help.
They do need help. That's not actually a bad spot because they don't have.
Because Desmond Bane's not a point guard.
No, and
he can play point, but he's not a point guard.
He's not a true point guard, and he's not even a consistent enough scorer. So maybe getting him off the ball and having somebody dynamic like Trae Young could help open up the court finally for Paolo Banchero, who seems to be running into doubles and traps all the time because there's nobody else on the court.
And that's what Bane was supposed to relieve.
I don't know why they thought that though.
Because he's a shooter.
He is a shooter, but he's not a creator.
I get. Yeah. Well, I think they're thinking. And I don't think they're the only ones who think it, even though I think it's the wild idea that people think this, but I've seen it multiple places. They think that Paolo Banchero is like a LeBron, and he's not.
He is not, though.
He's not a playmaker like LeBron.
No.
I don't get that comparison. But what do you think about another one?
And here's the other part. I don't think he ever will be.
No, that's not his game.
Which is why
he's not a playmaker.
Well, let me.
It's not a knock on him. He's just not a playmaker.
No,
for other
he's
players.
not. I don't even think he's a true number one. If we're being honest, I don't think he's a true number one. I think he's a great player. Yeah, I think he's a great player. He's just not.
He's a two.
Which is why I don't know why they wouldn't be in the Giannis conversation.
Because Giannis,
or even the Jaylen Brown conversation. Get in one of these conversations.
I can tell you why Giannis ain't going to Orlando. Two more teams to throw out there: Phoenix and Detroit.
Phoenix, but then you right back where you started with the Chris Paul thing, like that. An undersized point guard.
Booker's running the point more there now anyway.
Yeah, but he wouldn't in that scenario. They would have to yield to Trey.
Not really. No.
You want Trey playing off the ball?
Why not? He's a scorer.
Is he though? That's the other thing.
He's averaging like 28 points a game.
He does, but the one thing that I think we've learned from our De'Aaron Fox experience is that just because a guy's averaging a lot of points on a bad team doesn't make him a great player.
Well, I mean, his points would take a step back, and then my other team is a team that desperately needs scoring.
Okay.
Detroit.
Now, I actually kind of like that.
I think Detroit makes the most sense out of all of
I actually kind of like that a lot because if Duren can't give you, because then you can almost justify giving Duren a $200 million contract at that point. Because right now, giving him a $200 million
after that last playoff series
is crazy. That's crazy. Fam, you are so far away from a $200 million contract right now. We are not there for that, ready for that conversation. Even though I understand you made your first team, second team defense. I got it. You qualified for it. Get your money, man.
All-star.
Yeah, get your money. But also, if you're Detroit, if y'all write that check, y'all are more insane than I thought you were. Because he's not a $200 million player yet. Not yet.
Well, the thing is, he may not be yet, but his contract is up.
His contract is up. So you gotta give him something that he can live with. That's good. But if you brought in a Trae Young to offset those points, and so now he's your Draymond, that makes a lot of sense. Now that makes sense.
I think on the floor it makes sense. I don't know how much it makes sense financially because he's a max, and
financially makes no sense.
Cade's gonna be a max.
Yeah.
And then Duren's knocking on the door of a max. I don't know if they can afford it. And
the only reason it makes sense.
And Thompson's contract should be coming up too.
Yeah, but Thompson got to learn how to shoot. Like, I don't know what.
He ain't out there for that.
I don't know
that's
what
why.
drills,
that's why you bring it in Trae Young.
I don't know what drills the Thompson twins are doing in the summer, but they are not offensive in nature. Neither one of them can shoot worth a quarter. So they got to figure that. I would strongly, if I was Detroit, I would look at that Trae Young thing strongly because that could fix a lot of things. And what a great backcourt that would be with Cade and Trae Young. Now Cade takes all the pressure off of Cade to make clutch shots, to get them in and out of offensive sets. Now he can just go be dynamic by himself and just make the plays and get the one-on-one matchups that he needs. And he's a phenomenal defender. So that takes all the pressure off of him. And then it takes all the pressure off of Duren. So now his 10 and 10 or 10 and 15 looks that much better because he's just doing all of the stuff nobody else want to do. Right. And it justifies a $200 million contract at that point. So I love that more than I think anything that we've talked about. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. But again, Trae's supposed to be taking some conversation, but I am also hearing that the Wizards might re-sign him for 3 years or something is what I heard. 3 years and something.
Yeah, because that was really my initial thought when I saw it. I was like, he just must be renegotiating.
Well, and I get that, but then also I don't because are you if you're the Wizards, you're running it back with Trae Young, Keshawn George, Bilal, what is it? Koulibaly, Anthony Davis, and Alex Sarr. That's your five that you're running back? Well, no, I guess you're going to have AJ Bonsa or Peterson, which, by the way, that's a weird story. that Peterson said he's only meeting with the Wizards and no one else. Really?
Well, I mean, he must know that the Wizards are going to pick him. So
I was gonna say either he knows the Wizards are going to pick him, or he is suffering from a tremendous case of delusions of grandeur. Like,
I think I mean he knows he's going to be number 1 or 2. So
is there a scenario where the Wizards trade out of 1, get more picks, and they are because I guess you can live. You're the Wizards. You can live with having Peterson over DeBonsa, I guess, or this might be a Sam Bowie Jordan thing. I don't know, but
I can see a scenario where Utah tries their best to get DeBonsa.
Well, listen, it makes sense for them to do it. It makes sense, and they got picks and they got players. Walker Kessler could not be louder about I want to leave. And by the way, I think he's going to leave because they got a log jam at that position. They got
and he's a perfect fit for your Lakers.
I know. That's we've been trying for years to get Walker Kessler, and for whatever reason it hasn't happened. But it hadn't happened because Danny Ainge hates us.
Yes, Danny Ainge hates the Lakers.
Yeah. and also we done nothing to help that with this Luka situation. That was diabolical on our side. But yeah, Walker Kessler wants out, and I gotta believe with Jaren Jackson being in the fold now, and they got Laurie Marketing, so there's no reason to keep Walker Kessler. There's really no reason.
But I love that front line, though. I would try to work it out.
Without question, but I think they aren't talking. Walker Kessler and the Jazz are not.
If I'm the Jazz, I'm trying my best to figure that out because that is a playoff front line.
Feels like it, especially now when you need it the most.
And I say playoff. I ain't talking about an 8th seed. I think that's a team that can compete if you can get consistent guard play.
Yeah.
That team, because you got. I mean, how are you going to score inside? And Jaren and Marketing can are good 3-point shooters. They stretch the floor, and Kessler can do his thing inside because he's going to get one-on-ones.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying my best to mend whatever fences they need to mend because that is a playoff roster.
Well, here's some other things that makes it interesting because they still have Oscar Tshiebwe.
Yeah.
Who is there and growing and understanding slowly but surely, but they're bringing him at a nice pace. So I think that kid is going to see the floor at some point to do all the dirty work, which is what he'll be the bulk of his NBA career. Right. And then they still have there's somebody else that was on that team. I saw the roster and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe he's still there. Give me a second because I'm having a brain moment here, an old man brain moment.
We all do.
As we all do. Oh, Filipowski. That's who it was. So they still got Filipowski. And the reason why I bring those names up is because you can get younger and also kick the salary cap down the road a little bit. So Philip, is there anything that Kessler does that Filipowski can't do? Probably not.
Yeah, defend.
Well,
Kessler's one of the top shot blockers in the league.
He is, but I would think at some point Filipowski, because he's so young, he'll come into that. I would think.
No, I think you're more dependent on Jaren Jackson because Jaren Jackson's also a top.
Well, Jaren Jackson is going to be around, but you got. My point is, you've got a window to where you don't have to force the Kessler thing if you don't need to. And then also you still have Yusuf Nurkic if he's going to stay. I don't know if he's going to stay, but you have him. So there's a log jam at the forward center position
they're in a position where they could afford to let him go.
Right.
And I guess.
But I hear what you're saying as well.
But I also think financially it may make sense to let him go too. But I really like that front line.
No, I can't argue with that. I can't argue with that. The key to the whole thing is Ace Bailey taking another step. If he can take the next step, then you've got something really special happening in Utah. And so it makes a lot of sense for them to go get AJ DeBonsa and just sell out to that number one spot, especially if it appears that Peterson will be available at the spot that they would trade out. I guess they would do some type of pick flop, and then also whatever extra stuff they can get from the Jazz. Jazz got a lot of picks from everybody, so they can get some extra stuff if they need it. So that'll be very, very interesting. Another part of this also that makes this very, very interesting is that I'm hearing a lot of rumors that the OKC Thunder are going to make a power move, to get Boozer. They really like Cam Boozer from what I'm hearing. And if that is true, that could also really shift the draft tremendously, because I think Cam Boozer, and I've said this all along, Cam Boozer, Darius Acuff, those are my ready to go day one players.
My only concern with Boozer is he's slow in his movements. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
100%, but I don't see the Jazz as a run team. I see them as the traditional.
He's definitely kind of play on a team that's the traditional move, run the shot clock, and get the ball inside.
Yeah, I can see them. Which if that's, I mean, not say the Jazz. I didn't mean the Jazz. I apologize. Well, no, I did mean the Jazz. I don't see them as a run team. So I think he's a better fit for OKC because they got to fix their Hartenstein problem. Now, counseling, we mentioned counseling on the show. That's going to also help fix that problem. He's going to need a tremendous. He and De'Aaron Fox could just block the hour. and then one could take 30 minutes, the other take the other 30. But they're both going to need a tremendous lot of counseling. But I like Boozer because they're going to. I would imagine they're going to lose Hartenstein. I just can't.
Yeah, they're going to lose Hartenstein.
I know people are saying, well, there's no reason not to pay him, and I'm like, yes, there is. There's like 34 million reasons not to pay him because that's about where his contract is going to land, I would think. Because isn't he making like 17? Or some weird, or 20 something. It's not a lot. It's not as much as you would think. And there's a reason why he didn't get the extension. That's the other thing. There's a reason why. Because you can't pay everybody. But you don't have to if you're the Thunder, because you got 1 million draft picks.
Yeah, he's getting 28.5.
He's not going to get a raise. I can't see paying him 35 or 40.
He's the second highest paid player on the Thunder.
No.
Yeah.
No, Hartenstein?
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
No, that can't be.
Because you got to think, everyone else is on rookie deals.
Is that can't be right?
Yeah.
Because Shea signed, and then the extensions haven't kicked in yet. That's what it is. That's what it is.
That and you have to
The extensions have not kicked in yet.
Yeah, and everybody,
they kick in this year. They kick in this year. So Shea's going to jump.
Last season.
Last
season, Hartenstein was the second highest paid player on the team.
Right.
But even with the extensions, they're not going to go that much. It's going to be significant. Last season, Shea made 38. Hartenstein made 28.5. The next closest is Caruso and Dort, and Dort's out. They're not bringing Dort back. So even with their extensions, he still would be one of the highest paid players.
Well, Dort's out for sure, but the problem is everybody's the three top players, all their extensions kick in next year. So Jalen Williams will make like 40 something, and then Chet's going to make like 40 something, and then Shea's going to make like 40 plus, almost 50.
Yes, so Hartenstein and Dort are definitely gone.
I would think so.
Caruso may be gone.
I think Caruso it's very likely Caruso could be out. But that again is all the more reason why you go make the move and try to get the names I've heard are Cam Boozer, if they can get that high, although I don't know if they're going to be able to get that high. And then also I've heard Yaxel maybe possibly as a,
They
as
might
a
be able to get him
possibility.
later in the draft.
They might be, and so it just depends on how they want to play it. But they got the picks and they got the players to be able to make some kind of move. So I would expect they're going to make a move. I've heard Denver's going to make a move. They got some stuff that they can feel like they can manipulate and work. So
You think they bring Murray back?
Ooh, wow.
I know some fans that don't want him back.
There's a lot of people that don't want him back. I've been saying for 2 years now that my move with Murray would be a straight up trade with a very desperate Ja Morant and send Murray to Memphis. Now they have their guy, and you have I think Ja and Jokic together could be special, and it would fix Ja. If
The
he would
only issue is shooting because Ja's not that great of a shooter. Playmaking for the both of them, yeah.
Well, you got to go put shooters around them. That's the biggest thing.
The assist totals between the two of them would be ridiculous.
You got to go put shooters around them, because also I'm hearing a lot of they may move on from Aaron Gordon talk, which is crazy to me because
his health.
Yeah, but man, he's done everything right, and he's gotten better. He's gotten better. I ain't gonna lie to you.
You see this car that Clyde Frazier's in?
I pulled away from it. Let me. Oh God, Clyde Frazier is. Let me tell you something. There has never been a player in the history of basketball that fell in love with the 70s more than Clyde. He is all in on the 70s. He will never. He's never leaving. By the way, he's never leaving. I picture Clive Davis's alarm every morning being Clyde Frazier's alarm every morning being diamond in the back, sun rooftop. That's how he wakes up every morning.
Curtis Mayfield.
Right. Past 150. That's Clyde Frazier is living his best life, and it is definitely he's wearing bell bottoms while doing it. So listen, he's a wild boy. This parade is crazy. It's a lot of people.
The live coverage on First Take is a little over the top.
Yeah, that's insane. They got it on ESPN2 as well. Why have this on ESPN2 as if the only NBA a little biased much? Like, what are we doing right now?
Right. They've never done this with anybody. Well, they did with Golden State, I think.
I don't remember being on ESPN2.
I can't remember. I think one of them may have been.
NBA TV has always had the parades. They do it every year. But I don't ever remember being on ESPN2.
And for it to be simulcast on First Take.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But, where is Stephen A? Why is he not at the parade?
He's in a studio somewhere, because when they show him, it's obviously a set, but it's a set because it has the Empire State Building behind him. But I'm like, well, if he's in New York, then why is he not either at the parade or on the actual set?
Maybe he had a scheduling conflict or something.
Maybe. And they may have just thrown that picture of the Empire State Building behind him.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting next few days. Just real quick, our Giannis coverage. We got to give you some Giannis watch. I don't know now.
I have no idea what's happening with Giannis.
I don't know. That's
my
honest answer.
Every time I listen to Levitar, they think that he's going to Miami, but that's normal for that.
Well, but here's the thing: if he was going to Miami, he'd be in Miami. Like, this doesn't feel like it's that hard, and the offer can't, unless they're going to bring in a third or fourth team. I don't know what else they can offer him than what they've offered him. There's not that many options.
I mean, that's just that show. They think
Well, I guess what I'm saying is, like, I have to believe when they say that Milwaukee has not gotten an offer from Miami that they would be willing to pull the trigger on. That makes sense to me, because
Miami ain't got nothing.
Well,
Tyler Hero,
right? I'm like, I'm not going to give you Giannis for Tyler Hero. That's not
and Miami's not going to come off Bam. So
to me, any conversation of trade has to start with Bam. If we're not starting there, then what are we talking about? Or you got to go find a third and fourth and maybe even fifth team to give me some serious assets. But what we're not going to do is trade him for Tyler Hero. No, we would get They would burn they'd burn the arena down if we did that.
They always say, well, the saving grace in that reason why it's somewhat appealing is Ty was from Wisconsin. But
well, then we should definitely do it.
That's why Miami's looking at it. But I mean, the one that makes the most sense is Boston.
It's Boston, right? So, but then the problem is yesterday, Jalen kind of mucked up the waters by saying I don't necessarily want to be in Milwaukee, and if you and he's eligible for an extension. So if you, by the way, that man's gonna make $70 million per year on his next contract, which is insane. But yes, if you're Milwaukee, you can't lose on this trade. That's the biggest thing that's slowing down the trade. You can't lose if you're Milwaukee. You have to win or at least it has to look like you won in this trade. And
that's the problem.
A departing Jaylen Brown is a loss.
And like the teams around the league know that. And so they're getting all low ball deals. Everybody's low balling them because they know
getting out altogether, which is what I think my Lakers have done.
They know Giannis wants out.
Yeah,
Milwaukee, rightfully so, wants comparable to what they should get for him, and they want pieces in return.
Yeah,
but they're not going to get it, and so they're going to have to come down on what they want. Because
if they want to do
you also
this
got to
deal,
throw in the teams are starting to view Giannis as older now, and he is older now, and they're looking at the wear and tear. So they're like, if we get him, great, but if we don't, I think we're gonna be all right.
I'll tell you, the shocker to me the other day was hearing the legend, the Hall of Famer, Mike Wilbon say, "I don't trust Giannis," and I was like, "Really?" And he made some very strong, compelling points. He made some very strong, compelling points. And I was like, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. You couldn't really argue with it. It was very interesting. So if that is the and here's what you know about Michael Wilbon, who's been doing this 40 plus years. He didn't just come up with that out of the air.
No.
He's talked to some people. And I think there may be a sentiment out there that maybe the bloom is off the rose, the age, the injury, the ironically, on First Take, it's coming up right now. These making statements. That didn't come out of nowhere. That came from somewhere. And if that's the case, then I can see, because it feels like my Lakers have pulled back tremendously on a lot of earlier talk. And listen, what I've always said about this offseason with the Lakers, you've got a ton of money. Don't do anything stupid. Just don't do anything stupid. There's a path to respectability that doesn't involve Giannis.
Yeah.
So I would rather take the path of that than to go or cap strike our team and we can't function because we've committed all of our money to two guys. Right. So
that's why I like the Kessler move for them.
I love the Kessler move. There's a few other moves out there that are interesting to me. Apparently, the New Orleans Pelicans are having a yard sale. There's a lot of pieces that you can steal from them, like Herb Jones, like Trey Murphy.
Yeah.
Apparently, Zion's even on the table, which
Zion should be on the table.
Zion should have been on the table. The problem is people have seen him play. So
well, they don't trust him, but he did play.
He finished the season. Technically,
he played almost all season last year. So
technically, he was there. There's nothing memorable about what he did last season. I don't even know what he averaged. Like I don't remember.
I think statistically he may have had one of his best seasons he's had. It's just the Pelicans. They weren't in contention, so nobody paid attention.
Well, it's amazing how that happens when you're available.
Yeah.
So I would definitely call New Orleans and start having some conversations about certain players that they have, because they do have some really good, interesting pieces on that team. I'll tell you, a point guard. You're talking about a point guard that needs to be stolen and freed from his circumstances. If he's healthy now, DeJounte Murray would be a massive pickup for somebody.
I can't understand why DeJounte Murray. Well, he only played 14 games last season.
Well, yeah, he
I
spent most of the
can't
season.
anywhere.
Not still trying to come back from that injury.
So Zion averaged 21 points, just under 6 rebounds.
He needs a new environment.
He played 62 out of the 82 last year,
which for him is massive.
Yeah,
that's massive. So, but I think they're over it. I think Joe Dumars is over it. I think they're ready to move on. I just don't know who.
I didn't understand. They've done some weird draft moves too. Like when because they drafted Derek Queen pretty high.
Yeah, the only people that they said are untouchable is Favors. Is it Favors?
Fears.
I can forget. I get the names confused. But Fears and Queen, those are the only two players that are untouchable, as the reports are.
Herb Jones would be a good pickup.
Oh, he'd be massive. That'd be a great pickup. To me, the Laker path is easy, especially if you're going to keep Austin Reeves, which it appears all indications are they're going to do it. That's fine. But now you got to put nothing but dogs around them.
Yes, and I would go. I think Herb Jones would be a good fit for them.
Herb Jones would be great. Robert Williams is another.
Trey Murphy would be good for him too.
Trey Murphy would be good. Either one of them would be fantastic. There is a path. That's what I'm saying. And then also, apparently, the Mavs are looking to deal and get Gafford out and get Clay's for sure going to be out. So there's a
Gafford
path.
Would be a good pickup.
Gafford would be a great pickup. You just
Clay's probably going to end up in Golden State.
I would think they may have a family reunion there. We'll see. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, though. The one move that could be really insane, which to even be talking about this is crazy to me, but it's the reality. It's the reality of the last 30 years of basketball, and that is Jaylen Brown leaving a championship contending team, a championship winning team, because he and Jason Tatum can't exist in the same space. And it's funny to me to hear them try to say, oh, no, there's no beef. There's no beef. There's beef. I don't know what the beef is, but why would you leave this situation?
I don't know if it's necessarily a personal beef where it's like, this dude don't like this dude. I don't think it's that.
It's professional.
It's a professional where Jaylen feels like he's every bit as good as Jason Tatum. And as long as he's in Boston with Jason Tatum, he's never going to be recognized as good as Jason Tatum.
Can I ask you a question? Who's telling him that he's not? Like, where's he getting this from?
It's not that someone's telling him that he's not. It's just that Tatum is always going to get the recognition. They're always going to favor Tatum over Jaylen.
I want to be very clear about the next statement that I'm about to make, because here's the reality. Because I lived through it. When you're a Hall of Famer, you're a Hall of Famer. And Hall of Fame is as high as it goes. Now, you could say, if you're trying to be an all-time great.
I think Jaylen Brown views himself as an all-time great, and he's never going to get that recognition when he's playing with Jason Tatum. I think that's how he feels. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying that's just the vibe I get off of it.
And what I would say to Jaylen is be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you ask for. Because here's the best way I can describe what I'm saying. Shaq is an all-time great. And he went to Miami, and the only reason he won because he played with Dwayne Wade. Had it just been Shaq, old Shaq, in Miami, it wouldn't have worked. Had it been, because you know why I know that? It's because Shaq went to Phoenix, and it didn't work. And then he went to Cleveland with LeBron, and it didn't work. And then he went to Boston and ripped out his Achilles, and his career was over. I'm saying, be careful. Be careful when you're saying, oh, I want to be the man. Okay, but also.
And we've seen in NBA history tells you that similar players with similar skill sets can play together. I mean, go back to the Lakers with Jerry West and Elgin Baylor.
Yeah.
It's very
Magic
similar.
and James Worthy. Like James was like, I'm number 2, and I'm gonna go to the Hall of Fame as a great number 2. There's a lot of benefit in that. But
we also got to be fair when we say that back then is a lot different than it is now.
It is, but also, well, yeah, I'll tell you that's true because one of the things that didn't happen back then that's happening now is that you're being paid $300 million to be the number 2.
Yeah, but like you don't have. I mean, social media is such a game changer and all this stuff. And
I have a suggestion. I have an old man suggestion. Put your phone down. Like, what do you stop?
It's easier said than done.
Stop listening. Listen.
We can say that we didn't grow up with that.
You're right, brother.
They
You're right.
grew up with that.
I'm just saying.
That's why I tend to give a little leniency to that generation for that because we didn't grow up with that. So
you're right. You're right.
We can't. It's a whole different atmosphere. It's just like because like the older generation would tell us, why y'all still playing video games? Because we grew up with video games.
Because we grew up with video games. That's our world.
And so just like for these players now, they grew up with social media in their life. And so just to say, just put your phone down. Well, that's we didn't grow up with cell phones.
I agree. I agree with everything. I agree with everything you're saying. I guess I have the benefit of age, just like you do, and with age comes wisdom as well. And I'm telling you, this is starting to feel very Russell Westbrookish. Not comparing the players. That's not what I'm doing. What I am saying is that when you run the teams, and for both of them, by the way, because if Jason thought it was hard with Jalen,
I don't think Jason's a problem in this at all.
I disagree. Because if they don't get Giannis, then if Jalen doesn't want to play there, which by the way, whether they get Giannis or not, I think Jalen's gone. So if they don't get Giannis, do you have Boston winning the title next year?
That depends on who they get. But I think, I don't think Jason Tatum is necessarily. Like I said, I don't think the beef between the two of them is necessarily personal. It's just that Jalen doesn't want to share the spotlight. And like I said, as a 50-year-old man, I'm like, you tripping. But I can also look at it as a 20-something-year-old man, and I'm thinking I'm just as good as this dude. I can leave, and the year when this dude was out, I had us top 3 in the conference. I can see where the man's coming from. I really can.
I can see it. I just think it's listen. Everybody thinks grass gets greener. Everybody thinks grass gets greener on the other side. It's just grass.
But we've seen it. It's like.
Okay.
As much as people want to immortalize Kobe and act like Kobe walked on water, Kobe had his moments. Kobe asked to be traded from
100%. And that's one of the reasons why. That's one of the reasons why I say this sounds better in your head than the reality is. Because Laker fans, we lived through the reality of Shaq leaving. And it was not great at first. It was until they got Pau Gasol and Lamar Odom and Metta World Peace, it was not great. It was just a lot of empty stats from a great player, an all-time great player. But he would say to you out in an honest moment, God rest his soul, but I think he would say to you, man, it was a lot of uphill climbing because it was hard. It's hard. It's to be the man is hard. It's not an easy thing to do. And when you're the highest paid player on your team, it's even harder because they ain't got money to be going to get other great players. And it's even harder now because there's a thing called the second apron, which James Dolan has already said, some of these people, they better enjoy this parade because they ain't coming back. So It's hard. It's really, really hard. And I think you can get blinded by the egotistical aspect of this desire to be great and miss all of the other aspects that are important, like, I don't know, money. I don't know.
50, Lloyd.
I know, man. I know. That's the benefit of being older, man. You've seen it already.
And plus, I mean, let's be honest. We ain't never been as good at our job as Jaylen Brown is as good as at his. And so
You're a Hall of Famer, brother. You're a Hall of Famer. I don't know. He ain't a Hall of Famer yet. He's not officially. Not officially.
Let's be honest. The Basketball Hall of Fame.
He's gonna make the Hall of Fame. He's for sure gonna make the Hall of Fame. I just think. Listen, you can do the Jalen. You can do whatever. You're a grown man. You can do whatever you want to do. If this is the route that you want to go, you have
That's
that
the
right.
thing is,
sir.
if it works out for him,
Well, okay.
And
So
he
let's talk
could.
about that. Let's talk about that. Where will it work out for him? That's the question. Because the names I've heard so far, I'm a little shocked, to be honest with you. The names that the people that are going to go after him, I've heard Golden State, which makes all the sense in the world, because that is, to me, that makes the most sense, because guess what? They don't have a plan B right now. They don't have a post-Steph plan.
they don't right.
So that makes the most sense to me. Now, are they prepared to do all of the things that it takes to get him? I don't know. That's
I don't
the
even
real
know
question.
that. What do they have to? Are they prepared to do them? Yes. Do they have the tools to do it? No.
Well,
Who
they
they
got to
know-
give
who
up
they know-
every. They got to F them picks, which has been a theory of mine for the last 2 or 3 days
that's my
now.
theory. That's been
Yeah.
my theory on 2K.
Yeah,
for
F them
years.
picks. It's over. Forget the picks. You don't need them. So I'd give up every pick we had for the next 4 or 5 years, and
That's
then
all they have to offer.
right. Well, you could, if you want to, you could offer Jimmy Butler. I mean, that's aging Jimmy Butler doesn't take away the shine
Coming off
from
an
Jason
ACL.
Tatum. He is, but that's what else is out there that's even close to comparable?
Be honest.
They're not getting Giannis. Not because Jalen doesn't want to go to Milwaukee.
They can sweeten that pot.
With what? They got to bring in some other teams to sweeten that pot.
Really good.
Yeah,
They good.
I heard Clippers, which is the most Clipper thing ever to hear that the Clippers are part of anything right now.
Right.
They got bigger problems. Still trying to stay out of jail. Can we do? Can we focus on the big picture if you're the Clippers?
Well, he ain't going to jail. But
Who's not going to jail?
Bomber. Rich people don't go to jail. Kawhi.
A rich person's already gone to jail.
Who?
The CEO of Ascension is going to jail.
He ain't Steve Ballmer rich.
No, now that's true.
Steve Ballmer rich does not go to jail.
That is true. That is true. I'm sure Steve
So-
Ballmer can work something out.
Especially for stuff like that. Only thing that time they go to jail is for murder.
Because it looks like the Clippers are going to lose Kawhi. It appears that
They have to get rid of Kawhi.
right. They have to. That would be insane to keep Kawhi.
This is the most New York parade ever.
Oh my God!
Every time I look over, I see something else. That's New York.
It's New York. It is as New York as it gets. It doesn't get any more New York than what's
Like,
happening.
I don't know who this is on with them now.
Oh, it's Mero.
I know Mero. I know Mero.
Yeah.
I know Mero, but I don't know who these other two.
Well,
people
they're the guys that replaced Ebro and all those guys for Hot 97, which,
okay.
by the way, it's virtually unlistenable now. That show.
Whatever happened to Jesus?
They fell out.
I knew they fell out, but I mean,
Isn't it ironic? Isn't it
I see
ironic that
Mero
those guys?
everywhere.
I don't know what these is doing, but isn't it ironic that those guys built that podcast up to an incredible place, to the point where HBO was like, "We'll give y'all a show."
Yeah.
And then it just
fell apart.
right at the height of the success. It just all fell apart.
I never thought about it to just now how much Mero looks like Carl Anthony Towns.
Oh my God! If I'm being honest, for like a half a second here, I was thinking, why is Carl Anthony Towns with these random people? And then I realized it wasn't Carl Anthony Towns. Clippers, Golden State.
That's the other part of it that that when talking about it, again, it's us with age and wisdom or whatever.
Yeah.
Where are you gonna go? If you're Jalen, where are you gonna go? Because you don't want to go to Milwaukee, which I understand.
Well, I heard a name mentioned that makes a lot of sense if you think about it, on both sides. Utah.
Miami?
No, Utah.
Utah? What, give up the pick?
Give up picks, maybe give up a couple of players,
Would you? And I'm just asking. I don't know.
I know where you're going, but go ahead.
Would you give up the number 2 pick?
Yes,
for Jaylen Brown?
I would. Bird in the hand. Bird in the hand. Because you know why I do it? Because I got other picks.
And if I'm the Celtics, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
I got other picks. I would say this. Matter of fact, I'll take it a step further.
Not young.
I know, but I'll take it a step further. You're not gonna like it, but I'm gonna tell you it anyway. That whole roster's open to me. The only person that might be a little untouchable is Jaren Jackson, maybe. But other than that,
I would make Jaren untouchable, and then I would let everybody else.
Yeah, but everybody else.
But I mean, honestly though, if you're giving up the number 2 pick, you ain't gotta give up nothing else.
That's especially what I say.
This draft.
That's what I say. Because the number 2 pick is either going to be AJ DeBonta or Darren Peterson. So You're fine. If you're, I've done you a solid. And by the way, the reason why Utah makes the most sense because it's an easy conversation. These are 2 old friends,
and I can see him doing it. And I can see Danny Ainge totally doing that.
That's what I'm saying.
Matter of fact, for the number 2 pick, if I'm Utah, I'm getting more than just Jaylen Brown.
You understand what I'm saying? It makes a lot of sense.
It does make sense.
It makes a lot of sense. And that might be the sneaky move that Danny Ainge has been waiting on. Because I'm going to tell you something. All of this silence in the NBA right now, because by the way, if you're watching First Take or Get Up right now, you are wasting your time this week. It's about the Knicks and nothing else. And all of the trade talk that's going on. There's no real trade talks going on. Trade talks are going to start when this parade ends. Now, once they're done and they've already put this in the cap this weekend, going into the draft, that's when the real conversations are going to happen.
No, the conversations are going on. They're just not covered.
Well, what I mean by real conversations is like that's when you're going to see real, actual stuff coming out that you can
start happening.
Right, that you can sink your teeth into.
Because the NBA wants the Knicks to have their moment. So now that the parade is out of the way, and today's what, Thursday?
Thursday,
so, yeah.
From tomorrow on,
I guarantee you something's going to happen tomorrow.
Something
is going to happen on Friday. I don't know what.
You think it's tomorrow? Okay.
Something will happen. Well, because it's a Friday. It's a Friday news dump. Everything happens on Friday.
Yeah. A lot of stuff happens on Friday.
So
I'll say this
will happen on Friday.
I'll say this. I fully expect Jaylen and Giannis to be packing their bags starting tomorrow. They will not make it to the draft with the team that they're currently on. I just can't believe because it doesn't make any sense that they would. Because
we've been talking about what somebody needs a third team in these drafts, in these trades.
Yeah, talk to me.
Spurs. Because of Fox.
Yes. But can you pull it off now? The show just got even prettier.
I know. She's coming down to watch the parade on my iPad when we've got big TVs upstairs to watch.
I love it. But it's because you're together and there's love and all that stuff.
She's just messing with me because she loves messing with me.
They don't mess with us. Then what are they there for? Like we got to mess with each other. That's how this works, right?
He's off this week too. So
I'll tell you why the Spurs makes a lot of sense because they also have picks. So you can throw some of their picks, and they have picks that are even their own.
I think the Spurs and the Thunder are going to be more active than 100%. For teams that were in 100%.
I will say this. I've been talking to all my Laker friends, and we're a little delusional at times, but not always wrong.
You're not usually as delusional.
I don't have time for that because I've lived through too much, and I don't have time to believe all.
You've got enough delusion with your Giants that you can't spread around.
Listen, and the delusion. Let me tell you something. The Knicks have made it 10 times worse on the Giants because there now is ridiculous expectation of the Giants season, which I'm like, guys, can we just get better? We've been bad for a long time. Better should be the goal. Super Bowl is crazy, especially with that monster that the Rams have over there right now. I'm the most excited I've been about my Cowboys in years, and I am like, they ain't doing that. Yeah, let's just get better. But we just gotta hope the Rams get upset. Right, or something happens. Yeah, there is a thing that's happening that is interesting to me. I was offered this reality, and I said, I will pay attention to that. Jokic has not signed his extension.
Mm-hmm.
That is interesting to me because there's no logical reason why he wouldn't sign his extension. Jokic is going to make $70 million a year if he wants it. No, he may be making more than that. Like whatever the cap is, whatever the max amount you can pay a guy, that's his salary.
Jokic could throw a monkey wrench into the whole offseason.
I have a sneaking suspicion. And here's the thing also that was offered to me. And to me, it's the best thing that tells me the Lakers are
It
up to
makes
something.
sense. I already know. It makes sense.
Well, here's the thing that made the most sense to me. The Lakers, for the first time in a long time, have said nothing.
Mm-hmm.
There's been no leaks. There's been no conversations. There have been no mentions on any platforms other than Magic trying to stir something up about LeBron the other day. But for the most part, there's been nothing out of the Lakers, which is refreshing because that's one of the big things I used to hate about the Lakers. Like, why y'all got to talk about it? Shut up.
You feel my pain with the Cowboys.
Right. Shut up.
And we're both having the same feeling like, oh, things have been quiet lately.
Which is how you get massive deals done. You do it in the shadows, you do it in the quiet, and then it emerges. And then everybody on TV is thrilled because they just found out this crazy thing that nobody saw coming, i.e. Luka. That's how you get them done. So, and here's the other thing that I have to remind people about, why the Jokic thing could be real. That man spent $10 billion to buy this franchise. He wants a champion on the court. Nobody's trying to go out in the first round. Nobody's trying to go out in the second round. He wants to be where the Spurs and the OKC, he wants to at least be in those conversations. And the only way to do that is to hit home runs or so many doubles and triples that you become a competitor. There's only a few paths to that.
Because I hadn't thought about if the Lakers can pull that off. I don't know what you do with LeBron in that situation.
I think at that point, unless LeBron is willing to take a massive pay cut, which, by the way, the part that nobody talks about on these podcasts or on TV about the LeBron situation, that man got a wife who has followed him around for the last 25 years. I can almost guarantee you she ain't leaving LA.
Stephen A. does. That's one thing that Stephen A. does report. He's like, she's not trying to move around anymore.
She is not moving. Yeah, she ain't leaving LA. That is off the table. So if he wants to go back to Cleveland, he will go back to Cleveland by himself. Right.
You better get you a condo for 41 days out of the year.
Right. But we're not doing that. And I think he's not leaving California. So that's why I do believe that if
Golden State
he's going to leave, it'll be Golden State. Right. That's probably the only team that he would actually go to. But here's the other thing. From what I've been told and what I've read and what I've researched, they've already started conversations. And by they, I mean Rich Paul and the Lakers have started conversations. So they're going to tell Rich. Now, the only problem with Rich is Rich can't keep his damn mouth shut.
No, he can't.
My God, he talked too much. Him and LeBron, they talk too much. And so I think the Lakers might be holding it close to the vest because they're saying, listen, man, we got a plan, but we don't need that plan on Netflix.
Well, the problem with Rich Paul and LeBron is they love attention so much.
They do.
Just like,
and they're phenomenal. LeBron, that's not even shade, but they do. They do love to talk.
I mean, it's just like LeBron bringing up the GOAT conversation in the middle of the finals. It's like, dude, just go somewhere and shut up. That's why I can't. That's why that dude gets on my nerves.
Hey,
it's like he has to stay in the media in the spotlight. I'm like, dude, it's the NBA finals.
All my non-Laker friends say to me, how is it with LeBron? And I always answer the same way. It's a lot. it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. You're grateful to have him, but it's a lot. It's a lot. It's it's crazy. You knew it was a lot when you started dating him. You thought it was going to not be a lot when you married him?
Right. You knew it was a lot when you saw him across the dance floor.
Right. It looked like a lot when you saw him. But then you decided to say, well, let's marry him. And then you thought it wasn't going to be a lot? No, it's a lot. It's a lot. Birkin bags, red bottom shoes. It's a lot. Vacations weekly. It's a lot. It's a lot. So, I think Laker fans, it's crazy, and I've said this before. It's ironic that this guy will go down as one of the greatest basketball players of all time, and he may not even crack the top 5 of Lakers. It's my
I think he'll be top 5, but he's not going to be
barely.
And Lakers fans, because it's always going to be Kobe,
Magic, Kareem, Shaq, and then that's that 5th spot is where it gets tricky because some people will say Wilt, some people will say Jerry West, not just for what he did on the court, but the totality of who he was.
I think because of age, I think that's where he'll get.
At some point, right? It becomes people won't remember Jerry West, and they'll say, "Oh, it's LeBron." So I get it, but he won't be the greatest Laker of all time ever.
It's always in Lakers fans' eyes, even though he's not. It's always going to be Kobe.
It's Kobe or Magic. That's the conversation.
I mean, in my opinion, Magic's the greatest Laker.
Right. Magic is always going to be my greatest Laker of all time. Magic's my favorite player of all time. So him and Shaq are my 2 favorite players. So
it's him and Mike.
Yeah. So that's just an interesting situation. So going back to our original premise, if they pull this off, they're working on something. That's the best part of what's happening now is that I feel like there's actual adults in the room who have good common sense and they're going to work on something real. Listen, if you go back and look at the blueprint now, it's a different sport, I mind you, but the thought process of building a winner is the same. What he did with the Dodgers in the short amount of time that he's had the Dodgers, because people think he's had the Dodgers for 10 years. No, he had the Dodgers for like 8 years, 7 years. But to build it the way they have, they're going to compete the next 15, 20 years. Every year. They're going to be in a conversation for a World Series for the next 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, part of that's because they don't have a salary cap.
Well, part of that is that, but also he's created a flexibility that will allow him to go get whatever he wants when he needs to, which is what he's trying to do with the Lakers.
While I like to give him that credit, he didn't give them that flexibility. Shohei gave him that flexibility.
Now, okay,
Shohei gave him that.
But you got to give him some credit because that's a conversation. It's not just that Shohei said. Now, Shohei may be smarter than we think he is, and maybe that is the reason. Because when you defer $700 million, it makes life a lot easier. It makes life a lot easier. By the way, what do we need to do? What are the things we need to do? We need to see if we can get a NBA cap expert on the show that can answer the question, are deferrable contracts possible in the NBA? Because if they
do. I mean, they were. I know because I know LeBradford Smith had his contract deferred. He still gets paid every few years.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If I was a top tier player,
I don't know if it's still a thing, but I know because I know for sure that LeBradford does.
If I was a top tier player, I think I would defer some of that money. I think I'd sign a longer deal.
Not only for team purposes and team building purposes, but for your
for your own future. How cool would it be to be able to get a contract when you're in your 50s?
Have a Bobby Bonilla day every year.
Yeah, and it's sick and it's significant. Like it's 10, 15, $20 million just hits your bank account on a random July 1st. Mm-hmm. So I think I would look into some deferment money and see if that's a possibility. Like that might be how LeBron ends up with this next contract. Maybe he says I'll sign a 5-year deal, but I'll defer the I'll sign a 10-year deal and just pay me out for the next 10 years. Yeah. Like there's ways to do this, I guess is the thing. But I feel like we're gonna see some fireworks starting next week. Mm-hmm. We're gonna see some real fireworks. And the offseason is gonna be crazy. Especially now that people have the blueprint to beat OKC and possibly have the blueprint to at least make it interesting against the Spurs and beat the Spurs for at least the next 3 years.
I think they got more of a blueprint to beat the Spurs than OKC. OKC just got injuries. Jalen Williams.
You think it was just injuries?
Your second best player out? Yeah.
Because Chet disappeared. Like completely.
Chet just, but if Jalen's there, that takes that pressure off of him.
Well, it's going to be interesting. I'm excited about the offseason. I really am. It's going to be fun.
I am
Okay.
too.
All right. What else we got? This Brendan, we'll get into some other ish right now, which is why we call, this segment some other ish, some other quick ish. This Brendan Sorsby thing is insane. Do you think he's going to the supplemental draft? Do you think he will? Because a lot of people, I heard him talking about it. A couple people talking about it, and they're saying he's a first round talent. He just
somebody will pick him up.
I was like, first round, really? Do you think he will? Who do you think that might be? You got any ideas of who you think might be the guy?
Arizona, maybe. Because you're going into the season with Jacoby Brissett as your starter.
That makes the most sense.
The Colts, maybe.
My only fear is that it's really close to Vegas.
It doesn't matter at this point.
And if he's got that out of his system.
Well, I mean, he was doing it from Bloomington, Indiana. I think it doesn't matter what location anymore.
By the way, having a full circle moment, how about Satterfield, like grabbing his best bus and throwing the kid under it? Like it's like, hey man, this kid was always a problem. Like, wait, I don't think that's necessary. Like, kid's already got a lot of issues. I don't think you need to just continue to drive over it. He's not even on your team anymore. Like, why are you mentioning it?
Yeah, I think that's why he's salty, because he's not on his team anymore.
Well, get over it. Build a bridge, get over it. I think he'll get picked up too. I hadn't thought about Arizona, but Arizona makes the most sense because if he is as good as many say that he is, he can actually have that spot.
But is Arizona? Is that where Miami's quarterback went though?
He is technically. Yeah. I think Carson's there technically, but
Cleveland's always in the running.
Are they going to choose finance or future? Your gut. What's your gut telling you about that situation? Finance or future? Because the only reason to start Deshaun Watson is because you're paying him that much money, and you don't want to waste the money.
That's why I think they'll choose finance.
Really?
Or the Jets. The Jets are always in the running.
They'll open the season with finance.
Pittsburgh's in the running.
Pittsburgh should be in the running. Because Jesus, what are y'all doing over there? I don't know. I get the sense that, because to me that doesn't make sense with Cleveland. If they're playing, because everything I'm hearing out of Cleveland right now is that they're pretty even, and if they are even, then why are you mucking around with Deshaun Watson? Move on.
They can't get rid of him, and they're paying him.
What's his last year? So move on. Just you blew it. So admit, you know what? You can't keep making the same mistake over and over and over again. That just seems dumb. Like, you made it. You blew it. Like, okay, I cheated, right? It's over. Now we got to move on. Because it doesn't make sense to keep reliving this moment. And it feels like putting him back out there when he wasn't good the last time you saw him. Let me ask you a question. Have you gotten faster in the last 2 years of your life?
I'm also 50. I haven't been working out like he has either.
Well, he hadn't been working out either. Like, he just started working out again this past year. So I'm saying I can't imagine.
I don't see it, but it's just Cleveland we're talking about.
It's Cleveland. That's the problem with what we're talking about. This is the most Cleveland thing ever. This is as Cleveland as it gets. I just think you got to move on. They said I've heard so many people out of that I trust. Like, there's some reporters in Cleveland that are just a hot mess. But the ones that I trust, they are all saying Shador is the first person there. He's the last person to leave. He's done all the work. The community loves him. He's doing all the things. The team loves him. The receivers love him. They talk about him glowingly. What else do you have to do? Like, I don't understand why this is so hard. Deshaun is the opposite of that. He just realized that there is a community in the last year because his job is on the line. I get it, but can we just move on? Listen, you can keep mucking around with your old ex thinking that it's going to work out, but it's probably not.
There's a reason why she's your ex.
It's a reason why she's your ex. And what makes this crazy is that she's your ex, but you're still letting her live in the house. That's crazy. That is crazy. Ma'am, you got to find another place to stay. That's what I would say to his agent. Go somewhere and figure this out. This is not my
Look
problem.
at Patrick Ewing and his daughter in the parade.
Oh, she kind of looks like him.
I remember when
a lighter version, but
she played here for a second.
Did she really?
I think so.
Wow. Okay. Shout out to Patrick Ewing. By the way, who's the greatest Knick now? Is it still Patrick Ewing?
It hadn't been Patrick Ewing. Knicks fans will tell you Clyde.
Well, old Knicks fans will tell you that.
Young Knicks fans tell you that.
I don't know if younger Knicks fans. I don't know if our generation would say Clyde. A lot of us didn't see Clyde play.
But like it's been passed down.
Yeah, it has been passed down. I agree with that. I would have said Pat is the greatest Knick. There's some that would say Carmelo's the greatest Knick, which I don't know why I don't know how you say that, but there's
nobody born with a 19 in an age.
Right. For sure, it's a 20 base comment. For sure. Maybe the greatest Knicks scorer though. I'll give him that. I'll definitely give him that. Although Jalen has made a strong case. Jalen right now though is the king of New York, and it's not close.
Yep.
That man will never pay for anything in that city again. His rent.
Nobody on that roster will.
Yeah, his mortgage might be free now. He and OG can eat anywhere they want. It's just a call.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a phone call now. They can
just show up. They don't even got to call. They can just show up.
Chef's choice. Whatever the chef wants to make, that's what we're eating.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good time in New York for them. Okay. Rashid Rice is out.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about that situation? That man went in as the best wide receiver that the Chiefs have, and he has come out as the best wide receiver that the Chiefs have. Their situation has not changed in any way, form, or fashion. They are stuck. Like they don't have any other. I take that back. They do have options that they're not pursuing. Because I'm hearing Stephon Diggs may end up in Washington on the Commanders, his hometown team, which makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Makes a lot of sense. But I don't know. Wouldn't it be the most Chief thing to do is for them to take Brandon Ayuk? and all of a sudden his career just takes off again. And you're like, Jesus, these guys. So anyway, he's out. Do you have any problem with your boy showing up not playing? No concerns.
He showed up.
Overblown story. I say he showed up. He didn't play.
He was out there. Yeah, he was. They showed a video of him. He was out there.
Well, he went through some drills, but he wasn't like deeply entrenched.
Which he's diving on I saw him diving on the ground for balls.
So maybe some of my reports that I'm hearing are different
because they're trying to force this narrative that's not there.
And that's actually the point I was trying to make. Can we please get past this week so we can get into some other conversation? Because First Take and Get Up this has been a rough week.
Yeah, they've been. They sit there and say that, and then they'll show video of him running around and doing stuff. I'm like, it's minicamp. It's the opening day of minicamp. What are y'all expecting them to do?
Right. By the way, we will not be spending our training camp start of a training camp in East Rutherford.
Oh, no, because you got the World Cup.
We got the World Cup. So we're going to West Virginia.
It makes sense. It's close.
West Virginia makes sense to you?
It's close.
There's a lot of places close.
Everywhere else has the World Cup. Boston, Philly, Washington, they all got the World Cup.
Well, we're going to West Virginia. Some little place in West Virginia. I don't even remember the name of the place, but it's supposed to be nice. So
it'll keep y'all out of trouble.
Well, maybe, hopefully. We need to stay out of trouble. We definitely need to stay out of trouble. Man, the WNBA has been kind of, I don't want to say ratchet. Ratchet's not the right word, but it's prickly.
Miles is balling, though.
Let me tell you something, man. Hold on. Okay. I think Dallas made a mistake.
She's showing. She's showing.
I think Dallas made a massive mistake. No, and there's no disrespect to AZ Fudd. She's phenomenal. She ain't Olivia Miles though.
Mhm.
Oh my God, she's oh my God. I think they made a mistake. They chose love, and love, they say, conquers all. So maybe it will. Like
Let's see.
maybe love will win out in the end. But oh boy, she is.
They set her up to be Sam Bowie.
Ooh, man, Olivia Miles is on fire, and she's talking her talk too.
Mhm.
She wasn't like this in Notre Dame. She was rowdy, but she wasn't like ornery. She's ornery now. She was
honorary at TCU though. She got
honorary at TCU.
Yeah.
She said, "Get this floppy girl up out of here." I'm cooking her. I was like, Olivia, such rhetoric. I say it's very strong rhetoric. That's the rookie of the year, and it's not close. Like right now, that is a 1-of-1 race.
Yep.
That is a New York Marathon. She's running by herself. She is a Kenyan that is 5 miles ahead of the pack. Right now. Goodness gracious. Did you watch it last night?
I saw her highlights.
It's 31. And I mean
24 at first in half and on 10 of 11 shooting.
I don't know. Dallas, I don't know. I just feels like they made a mistake. And somebody said, well, she wasn't the second pick in the draft. I mean, she wasn't the first pick in the draft. I was like, who was? If you wasn't picking AZ Fudd, I mean, if you wasn't picking the big center that went to UCLA, Lauren, or if you wasn't picking the other one, the 19-year-old from overseas, who else were you picking? Olivia Miles was the best guard, but you and I have been on Olivia Miles forever. We've been saying Olivia Miles' name for the past 5 years.
She came out of high school. Yeah.
Yes. So okay, Dallas. I mean, I feel like Deborah Cox should be singing right now. How did we get here? It feels like in 5 years we're gonna be saying y'all blew. But you know what's funny to me about WNBA right now? All of the new blood is ornery right now. Like Angel's ornery right now. She's been almost fighting everyone in practically every game she's played this season. But she's balling though. She's balling, and they got the Dream playing better. Now a lot of that's got to do with Rakia, but
yeah.
but they're playing better. The Dream look like contenders. And then Paige is balling. I don't know, man. This new blood is different.
All right. I'm gonna have to wrap it up. So let's do the shout outs real quick.
Okay, let's do the shout outs. Oh, you know what? I didn't even look at the time. Okay, yes, let's do the shout outs. So who we shouting out, brother?
Shout out to Louisville Kings, UFL champions.
Yes. Look at that.
And my cousin Mo Owens, the defensive backs coach.
Look at that. That's really, you know what? We haven't done this in a while. It's probably necessary at this point.
And that was a humble flex.
Ordinarily, I would argue that, but
you can't argue that, and you should.
Because of my kinfolk.
Sometimes you want a humble flex. So shout out, and also shout out to the kicker who's going to New Orleans, and I guess a couple of receivers that are going to Detroit.
2 receivers going to the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, so that's
Lucky Jackson and I'm sorry, the other dude, I can't think of his name right now, but
yeah. Big time stuff going on. Okay, I'll let my shout outs be yours. My shout outs be what you shouted out. I think that's enough. Shouting out for today. We love each and every one of you. Shout out to our guy Raven, who is just amazing. That was dope as heck. And with that being said, cue the whistle.
Come true.